I think Larry's leadership has been one of the greatest things that's ever happened to Oglethorpe.
So from very early on, I just decided that I would try to engage. I was an outsider at that point, engage in the life of the community, engage in the life of the city. Today, 15 years later, when you ask corporate or civic leaders to talk about an institution that's committed to the city and whose leadership is committed to the city, Oglethorpe will be at the top of the list. And that's important to us.
And so the opportunities that were presented to us as a part of his leadership team helped us take this institution to a whole nother level.
So I first met Betty when I was a senior in high school, and then I got to meet Larry, President Schall. When I told my parents that I was meeting the president of the school, to them it was like the president of the United States. Like, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're meeting him. I'm like, yeah, it's no big deal.
I think when people look back, they will sort of see this as a time of where the university was rebuilt.
Thornwell Jacobs said that our campus is great because we have these buildings, these silent faculty. And I think President Schall really understood that and understood that the spaces we work in and the spaces we learn in have the possibility of, transforming the way we think. So in a chemical reaction, molecules hit each other and sort of combine or fall apart in the process of that collision. And at Oglethorpe, we're placing scientists and business people in a space where they can collide and combine ideas and cross-pollinate through the Cousin Center for Science and Innovation.
Well, it's very much an honor to have a building, named after me. I remember very clearly the day that Larry and our Director of Advancement called me into his office to say they would like to do this. And I don't think I burst into tears then, but maybe on the way home I did.
And it's just been extraordinary. We've raised over $150 million in commitments in these 15 years, including this just ridiculously extraordinary $50 million commitment from Mr. Hammock, which is a game changer. We've done all this building and brought our debt down, which is really unusual.
The Turner Lynch Campus Center is paid for, the Cousin Center is paid for, and I think one reason people are willing to give to Oglethorpe now is because they can see what their dollars have done. They can see the improvements.
When you make a gift to this university, you're not just giving money. It can feel like that sometimes, probably, but you're really giving a brighter future and just unlimited possibility for the students who come to the school.
An investment into Oglethorpe is so much more than just kids with great jobs in Atlanta one day. Like, it is learning how to be a human being and a citizen of this country, and we need that.
At Lead Abroad, we really talk about leadership pretty simply. It's really about influence. It's really about influencing yourself, influencing others, and really growing into your full potential. It's everything that Oglethorpe wants to be, and they are. And they do it not only on campus and not only through the Atlanta Laboratory, but through these partnerships that have expanded the walls of this university into Atlanta, into the country, and into the world. Dr. Schall says it pretty cleanly, and everyone else does. It's make a life, make a living, make a difference.
My biggest connection with him would be more of a human connection. I've admired so much his courage to step out on behalf of the Latino community, specifically in Atlanta. And I know that not everyone is in favor of someone speaking so candidly about such a controversial issue, but he's a courageous man. He's willing to put himself out there to do what he feels is truly right.
So he very much is a leader, but he also appreciates the viewpoints of the trustees of the university. He seeks out their opinions.
And from day one, and the board's led, and the board leadership has led, and just been extraordinarily generous with their philanthropy, and also just generous with their time, generous with their friendship, and that generosity is contagious.
I think my first experience at Oglethorpe was coming to Scholarship Weekend. One of my favorite professors, Dr. Karen Schmeichel, was actually introduced to me by Edmund at Scholarship Weekend, and she steered me into an internship at the CDC, which completely just changed, my outlook and career horizon. Just the types of relationships that you can build at Oglethorpe are really unlike anything else I've ever experienced.
There's nothing else like a relationship between a professor here and a student here. If I could distill the values in my teaching to a couple of things, I would say that I'm continuously striving to establish relevance, which I can trace all the way back to Dr. Marr. And I would say that my teaching often involves trying to give voice to marginalized groups of people, which is 100% Dr. Chandler and his unwavering commitment to all kinds of peoples that either don't make it into the history books or only get a couple of lines.
Since I'm documented, and there was word that the President of the United States was going to cancel the DACA program, I was scared. I was like, I'm not going to finish school, like it's over. And then I contacted Betty, because she was there for me from the beginning, and so I thought maybe halfway through, she'll be able to help me. They held like this meeting to everybody on campus that needed help to reapply for their DACA, because you have to apply every 2 years.
So 13 years ago, when I was 19 years old, I took my first trip to Spain with Dr. Chandler and a few other students. And we were on this lookout in a gorgeous city called Toledo, which is known for different groups coming together and learning to live with one another. And I got to go back to that very spot 2 weeks ago with students, and it was unreal. It was amazing, and I think a testament to the fact that it takes an experience with a professor who plants a seed of passion inside of you, and you have no idea where that's going to go, and it may take years for you to realize how it comes to fruition. But it's amazing when you see how much passion can inspire you.
You hear people say that this city is this university's greatest asset. And I think in a lot of ways that's true, but I think we can also be an asset for the city. And President Schall has done a really good job of connecting us to the broader community through service.
If you're here, if you're an Oglethorpe student, you're privileged. It's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege for me to be here every day. And so I always think with privilege comes responsibility. Whatever you go do, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer or an artist, teacher, that part of your life needs to be in service to others.
Because service can be defined in a wide range of ways, but volunteer service involves leadership, and it involves taking responsibility and knowing that to whom much is given, much is expected. And when you have the privilege of a college education, which is a small percentage of young people in this country, you have a responsibility to give back. Service is the rent we pay for living on this earth.
Oglethorpe sets you up for those sort of opportunities and for having the right mindset with which to approach a life of service.
If you want to see a change, you got to make it yourself.
I want to thank everyone who has made opportunities like attending Oglethorpe possible for students in our community. Dr. Schall, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me and for this community in your time at Oglethorpe. I think you've been an incredible president. Someone who's coming after you has big shoes to fill.
Thank you so much for everyone that makes Oglethorpe the way that it is. Thank you, Dr. Schall, for all of the things that you do for me and the different things that you do for the school. We'll miss you. I'll miss you.
Dr. Schall, I try so hard each and every day to lean into being a courageous person, and I admire you for your continuous ability to take risks, but you're doing what is right for people that need it. So thank you so much for being a role model in that sense.
He's been an amazing leader just in all aspects. He walks through the campus and speaks to students and staff and faculty all by name. His office is always open. If anyone has a problem. He's made unbelievable contacts in the city for the university, and he's just been wonderful in every aspect.
Larry Schall, you created one of the most extraordinary professional leadership opportunities for me when you hired me. I am forever grateful. This place will always be near and dear to me. Thank you.
But tonight, the President's Dinner has just always been a special event where, our most committed and loyal friends come. Some have been generous to us for decades and decades, and some are newer donors. But it's a night when you're among friends, and you're just among people that love this place. We couldn't have done what we've done without all of you in the room here, and so we very much appreciate what you've done, and I could not encourage you more to do more and to treat the next president as well as you've treated me and treated Betty, and we love this place and we love you and we always will.